Good morning, everybody.
2.
Welcome to the Hilton El Conquistador. We've got a few people coming in, but as you know, you have two talkers up here.
We're ready to talk.
Bill and I were like, well,
travel.
Set the timer because we want to make sure we get everything in, but also hopefully we can have time at the end for a couple of questions. Bill, as you know, let's give Bill Buckmaster a great round of applause.
Thank you.
I'm sure many of you have been listening to him over the years. You know he is a Hall of Fame broadcaster, now turned into a travel blogger, which we love that. But he's also working closely with us on a monthly travel podcast that will be hosted on the Bon Voyage travel website. So if you've been listening to us over the years, I think, Bill, we've been working together for 10 years now.
At least 10 years.
Yeah, so I've been a travel expert contributor to the Buckmaster show once a month for the last decade or so. So if you've been listening to that, and if you haven't, you need to go to buckmastershow.com.
Correct.
And you can stay in contact with what is going on in Bill's new chapter of your life.
We're still doing the program now on a weekly basis. Every Friday we're doing our show, and then at buckmastershow.com, we've got all 15 years of all the daily programs we've done. And plus, there's a travel blog there of our most recent trip to Palm Springs, which we'll talk about soon.
Yeah. Today, we've got about 20 minutes or so. We're going to work through some travel trends, what's going on. I'm going to give you some highlights of our show today, places you need to be today. And then Bill is going to hit, and I will too, some destinations that Bill has been to and some bucket list spots, I think, even for you. So hopefully it won't be too fast and furious, but we're going to try to get you as much information as possible in the world of travel. And so we've got destinations, we've got new trends, and I always like to start with this slide. I'm a proud Dane. Hansen, Hansen, is Danish, and I was in Copenhagen not that long ago. I'm guessing this is a relative of mine. It's a furniture store called Fritz Hansen. That is not my middle name, but I'll take it. My great-great-great-grandparents immigrated from Copenhagen, so I'm a proud Dane, and I thought, hey, I'm just going to take a picture with a furniture store that I might get in my inheritance at some point. You never know.
And that picture of me is on the island of Madeira, and of course they're famous for their wonderful Madeira wines. So
that's a small bottle of wine for you, by the way. But let's jump right in. Speaking of Palm Springs and Joshua Tree National Park, tell me a little bit more, Bill.
Oh my gosh, this was a terrific destination. We were there the last week of January. Perfect weather. I would not want to be there, though, 6 months from now when it hits, someone was saying 125. So this is the time to go, and I've always wanted to go to Joshua Tree National Park to see these out of this world, looks like something from another planet. And Joshua Tree National Park is about an hour 15 minutes from Palm Springs. But Palm Springs was terrific. Their new museum there, the Agua Caliente Native American First Nation tribe, that was their land. That was what Palm Springs sits on their land. They've got a beautiful new museum, just state of the art. That was terrific. Loved Palm Springs.
And I went really fast. I don't know if you know who I am. Ryan Hansen, president of Bon Voyage Travel. In my 15th year, we have 3 offices here in southern Arizona and Tucson, 1 up in Phoenix, but we also have an online division too. So we have about 65 to 70 employees. So if you go to our Oro Valley office and you see just a handful of people, that's just a small segment of who we are. So that's a little bit about me. You might recognize the voice, not the face. For half of the Arizona basketball games, there's a guy named Brian Jeffries. You know him. He's the play-by-play man. There's another guy that sits next to him for all the home games. That's me. So if you listen, I'm Rhino. So when he says, Rhino, tell me about the game, and I'll talk about Arizona, playing Kansas next week, and it's going to be a big battle. Great game yesterday as Arizona beat Houston. Awesome victory there. So Cats are 25-2, should be in San Diego for the first and second rounds. Go there. We'll see you at Viejas Arena. Now, does that sound like me? That's probably more of what you've heard. But what I do for my day job is travel. And so some trends in travel that may be uncomfortable for you, it may not be uncomfortable for you, but you need to embrace technology. Technology is actually helping your travel experiences. So I put up a couple of things here that you need to be aware of. TSA PreCheck, Clear, Global Entry, and then this is the touchless portion of TSA PreCheck. It is worth your while if you're going to travel internationally at least once a year for the next 5 years to pay the $100 and get yourself Global Entry. That also helps you with TSA PreCheck. Nothing worse than getting stuck in the security line. Nothing worse than having to take off clothing to get through to the airport or take out your liquids and all of that. That's why TSA Pre is important. You can also upgrade at many airports. Let me go back. At many airports, you'll see this Clear opportunity. This is a retina scan. Some of you, this is getting uncomfortable. I get it. It's a little imposing to you and intrusive, but there's a retina scan, so it's extremely fast. Tucson does not have this yet. Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport does, and many of the airports around the world are starting to adopt this. If you are American Airlines loyalist, United, Delta, etc., you can opt into a touchless TSA PreCheck experience. That's even faster. So there's lines specifically for that where you don't have to give your identification or your boarding pass. It is a facial scan. And again, if you think you're going to be off the grid, I don't want my face out there, too late, it's already happened. If you are in the world, you've already been facially recognized. I put up a bunch of apps over here. You may or may not have apps on your phone. Get them. If you are traveling and you're on American, Southwest, United, or Delta, the fastest communication for you will be through the app for cancellations, delays, gate changes, where is your baggage. You will know before the pilot tells you on a flight if your flight is canceled. It's happened to me enough, unfortunately, or delayed. This app is called Flight Aware.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a flight nerd like me and you want to know where your plane is at, I was stuck in Monterey, California, flying back, and I saw our plane come in, circle, 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 went to San Francisco. They didn't talk about it at the Monterey airport, but I could see the flight. So if you love radar, if you're a flight nerd, Flight Aware is the app to get. This is the mobile ID app for the state of Arizona. In Arizona, you do not have to have your physical driver's license anymore. You can have a digital version. This works for the police when they pull you over too. It can work if you have real ID through this app. It works at the airport to get you through security. This is your Uber app, gotta have that. Marriott Bonvoy, I love getting my points with Marriott. There's other Hilton, we're at a Hilton property. I need to make sure I mention Hilton. But this last app, this is called the Pocket Travel Consultant. If you're a Bon Voyage traveler and you work with us, you will get your information, your documents, all of your different things that come together, cruise documents, hotel vouchers, maybe you have transfers at the airport, all consolidated into one app experience. If you work with Bon Voyage Travel, you will get it so that you can download it on your app. Technology is your friend. This is just the beginning of where technology is going. Bill, tell me about, it does say Panama City. Sorry, the slide didn't come through great. Tell me about Panama.
For years, I've been hearing people say, you've got to go to Panama City. I've been there just through the airport many years ago, but I want to go and will be going in May. And it is, from what I understand, a terrific destination. Of course, everybody has to check out the museum at the locks, some great history there. There's jungle tours. And here's the good news. It's become much easier to get to Panama City from out west. San Diego is a new gateway for Copa, the Panamanian Airlines. They're doing at least one daily nonstop from San Diego to Panama City, which will make it very easy, very convenient. And it's, from what I understand, I'll be flying with them. It's a pretty good airline.
And what I love about this is it's not just the Panama Canal. There's obvious historical reasons for you to travel down there, but great urban setting in Panama City. Next trend in travel, I've talked about it for a couple of years. This is our family, multi-generational travel. It is not just about you guys going on your own, husbands and wives. That's obviously the lion's share of our travels now. But now it is nouveau to travel with your kids and your grandkids. So here's us just this past summer in my favorite city in the world, in Rome. So that's Jack and Brock. They have grown up in travel, so not too bad. Jack and Brock have been to 18 countries already.
Wow.
And luckily for us, they've actually been to Russia. We were able to get into Russia before everything closed down. They may be some of the only people in the Gen Z generation to get to Russia. But why is multi-generational travel so important? Memory making. Don't take your money to the grave anymore. It's about experiences. Spend the time with your family, and there's different ways to do this. There's a travel partner here today by the name of Tauk. You've heard of them. They've been in business for 100 years. They have a special program called Tauk Bridges. Go ask Jennifer at the Tauk table to tell you about Tauk Bridges. It is programming for 8 to 18-year-old kids, and they have river cruising, land experiences. You take your grandkids without mom and dad going, your son or daughter. That's what's fun. Or all 3 generations get to go. This was the trip we were just on this summer in Italy. So we went Rome, Florence, Venice, all the programming for 8 to 18-year-olds. So I want you to think about that. We went to the Louvre a few years ago on a Tauk Bridges program. We stayed in the Louvre for, count it, 2 hours. And the phrase I'm getting ready to tell you is a phrase that no 8-year-old has ever said in the history of mankind. When we walked out of the Louvre, our 8-year-old said, "When can we go back?"
Oh my gosh.
It was a scavenger hunt in the Louvre for our 8-year-old. Let's go find the Mona Lisa. Let's go to the Venus de Milo. Let's go over here. What do you find? What do you see? 2 hours jam-packed. He was thrilled, wants to go back. That's what travel is about. It's getting memories and the anticipation and excitement of the future. But you can see here, this is in Florence. Got to take these little cars in here, Empire State Building. Took them to the Lego house in Billund, Denmark. 2 Lego heads here, of course, cruise. We love food tours, by the way. Take food tours. This is us eating on a food tour in Reykjavik, Iceland. Obviously, Paris, that's Jackson Hole. Venice this summer, Maui. Of course, I had to get a Star Wars picture in there from Disneyland. This is the Shetland Islands. We went on a Shetland pony experience with our boys. So these are the things you can do with your grandkids. Don't miss out on these opportunities. Multi-generational travel is it. All right, Bill, tell me about this one.
One of my favorite places in the world, Big Sur. I'm sure many of you have been to that area. Well, here is the good news. After a mammoth landslide about 2 years ago, and some were saying that Highway 1 would never open up, Caltrans did the biggest road job in the state's history. They opened up now the Big Sur Highway after it was closed for 2 years. It was opened the end of January, so you can now go from Carmel down to Cambria by the sea once again and see some of the most beautiful scenery in North America. If you have not done this drive, this is one you've got to do.
And you don't have to go across the pond to hit some of these incredible experiences.
That's
and
right.
I think that one thing Bill wanted to touch on this year specifically in travel is it's not just about exotic remote places. The United States has some incredible things to offer in our 250th anniversary of the country.
That's a good year to do it, right?
Absolutely.
250th.
New way to cruise. This is a new cruise brand that you may not have heard about called Explora Journeys. They are here. They've got a presentation today. You need to check them out. They are really trying to transform what the cruise experience is to more of a hotel stay, not a cruise. So you need to check them out. They only have 2 ships on the water right now, soon to be 6 by 2028. They are owned by a large shipping company by the name of MSC. They also have some contemporary cruises, but this is more of a luxury experience, and it's really a hotel stay on the water. So I would encourage you, this is the lobby of the ship.
Oh my God.
This is the ship. So if that doesn't tell you that the experience, the feel, the soft touches are really more of a hotel stay. So if you're somebody that says, oh, cruising, not for me, you need to check out Explora Journeys. Go check them out today.
Whoa. All right, in this anniversary year, 250th, what could be better than a visit to two of the iconic national parks in our nation? Rhino, you were just pointing out about Jackson Hole. This is a trip, I've been to most of the national parks, but these two I have not been to. That will change in September when we start out in Jackson and then do a drive up to Bozeman. So we're going to hit both parks, and we're going in September, which is a key point, away from all the crowds. And lately, over the last 5 years, the smoke from the fires that we've been having, the wildfires in the summer, have been really, really impeding on that national park experience. Really looking forward to seeing two of the great iconic national parks of this country.
Yeah, head into Jackson Hole, got a great stay there. Maybe a couple of nights at the Old Faithful Inn, historic inn there. You obviously get to see Old Faithful, by the way, with you and hundreds of other people, but you need to get out to the prismatic pools, take a drive, come talk to me. There's an app that I have, speaking of technology, that it's a self-guided tour with extra information. I love additional historical notes about this wonderful national park.
This is going to be fun. I've heard about Punta Cana. I'm a big one for tropical places and beautiful water. I understand that the beaches at Punta Cana are the best. Probably they usually make the top 5 list of the best beaches in the world. If you're looking for a place to kind of hang out, not a lot of kind of sightseeing activities except for maybe some rum tasting or visiting the cigar factory, but if you just want to hang out, which we plan to do in May, we'll be headed for Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
Yeah, the DR. I'm actually going to be there in April, and I'll be golfing. So if we have any golfers in the room, one of my favorite names of a golf course is in the DR. The Teeth of the Dog is actually the name of the golf course. So very famous golf course in the DR, very fun. Good, relatively speaking, close getaway. I'm going to bounce through a couple of destinations fairly quickly. You're in this room right now because of Bill. You're missing the Antarctica presentation that is happening right now. Go to the Seabourn booth. Seabourn is one of our great partners that ventures to Antarctica, and it's not just the drive-by of Antarctica, it's actually Zodiac landings, where there's a few partners here that go to Antarctica that you should talk to as well. Silver Sea, I believe that is a Silver Sea ship in the background, but this is where you get to see penguins galore, but this is how you get to the landings of Antarctica. So 7th continent, maybe for some, it is otherworldly. So make sure you go see our people about Antarctica. In just a little bit, I think maybe right after us here, very quickly, Japan. We have 2 Japan specialists here today. They are from Japan, and they're here to tell you all about this otherworldly experience, from the experiences in the urban settings of Tokyo, to Mount Fuji, to Kyoto, to Hiroshima, the light speed rail. Japan is, in my opinion, the #1 hottest destination for 2026. So if you want to go to Japan, you may not get there in 2026. Because it's packed. Yeah. It's filling up. So if you are thinking Japan, you need to get that very soon. Go listen to that presentation. We have a presenter here from Lindblad, specifically speaking to the Galapagos Islands, speaking of otherworldly, the blue-footed booby. That is an incredible sight. So if you love wildlife, this is better than any zoo you will ever to if you head to the Galapagos Islands. So check your presentation schedule. That might be a hot item for you there. Africa is life-changing. If you've never been to Africa, there's lots of different ways to go to Africa. This is I've been to East Africa, so Kenya and Tanzania is kind of my expertise, but you can get down to South Africa as well, hit Cape Town, Johannesburg, get kind of a more of a urban feel to that, throwing into the game reserve runs. Africa is here, so go listen to our Africa presentation with African Travel. Alaska, we have a special Alaska presentation. Love the proximity of Alaska. For us here in Tucson, you get out of the heat, so check your presentation for Alaska. And then I'll end the last destination. Ireland is here. So check out Brendan Vacations has a specific call to action for you today to head to Ireland. I was in Ireland last May. I got to stay, my wife and I, at the Ashford Castle for 3 nights. So get out of Dublin, head west. You get to the Ashford Castle, you leave the Ashford Castle, take your day trip down to the Cliffs of Moher, head down to Killarney, over to Cork, all the way back up, hit the Cashel Rock, and you're back up to Dublin. It is a fantastic 7 to 10 day itinerary, and Ashford Castle speaks for itself.
It's for the soda bread just to go to Ireland.
It's worth it for a lot of things. One of the things that I love, if you could cue the first video, is the falconry in Ireland. So that's me with a falcon. This could be you as well. How cool is that? And my wife on the far right, if you could cue that video. Needless to say, very cool stuff. Here comes the falcon from the way in the back,
oh my God,
landing there. And then skeet shooting is a part of our experience, so cue that one.
Whoa.
That's my wife, not me. I did not show me, because I didn't get both of the skeets as they shot out. So my wife is here, so go see her at the Bon Voyage travel booth and tell her, wow, you do wear the pants in the family if you're shooting skeet that well. Ashford Castle in Ireland. So needless to say, Bill, I think we've hit a lot of great destinations. Did you want to wrap us up here?
We are just having a great kickoff to this wonderful Bon Voyage show. This is a big year for travel. Travel is going to be up internationally 10%. People do want to get away. Do it. Don't wait. Do it now.
Thanks for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day.